How did I increase my agency revenue 10 times without increasing workload? That's a good question, right? Allow me to remind you an old meme that, like nothing else, accurately describes my experience entering the premium market, which actually allowed me to do that. I mean, increasing the revenue. $500 client. I just feel that though with this investment I'm about to make in you, that we should understand how our lives are about to change, and I need to result how you need to bring them. I'm entrusting you with all my livelihood and lives. And $5,000 client. Money sent, thanks. Do you recognize any of your customers in this? What we will talk about today, we will primarily concern freelancers, agency owners, those who provide or can provide services online, or even sell digital products such as online courses. And we will talk about a golden opportunity that few of us are using yet, but from which everyone who is ready to try will benefit enormously. Even 20 years ago, when the internet was harder to find than water on Mars, most people had no other option than to earn locally, working with the people they knew or that were easily accessible. This is clear and understandable to everyone. Only in rare cases someone was finding much more lucrative opportunities elsewhere, and with that also was getting envy and hatred from compatriots. What now? I should say, look at how things have changed in 20 years, but not quite. As in the old times, there are people who do what they can, working with the people surrounding them, and there are also those who, like in good old days, get a lot of envy and hate because they earn much more by working with premium clients, because they're inaccessible to others. Or aren't they? I would say the only thing that has changed is that the access to high-paying clients is available to everyone who knows how to get access to the internet. Most people just don't go after the premium segment because they don't know how to position themselves to gain their attention and then trust. Personally, I discovered that when you are just starting a business in the service sector, in freelancing, etc., it's much more difficult to earn a good income focusing only on low-hanging fruit clients. What is the alternative? Tim Ferriss, in his book The 4-Hour Workweek, talks about a new category of people called the new rich. These new rich, first of all, are rich in time. They have a lot of free time and great freedom of choice. What to do, where to be, when to rest, when to work. And in my personal opinion, it's easiest for an online entrepreneur to become a new rich by learning to sell something to premium clients, because it's almost as hard to sell a $500 service to an ordinary client than it is to sell a $5,000 service to a premium client. Big companies have the resources to sell low ticket and capture that market segment with the volume of sales and still make a good profit. But for those of us who are just starting out, you may have resources to find and deliver for a few clients, maybe a dozen tops. Right here, quality tops the quantity. I'm not saying that personally you can't make a low-ticket strategy work. It's possible to rise to the top eventually. But you can also jump right into the stratosphere. You choose. For me, the benefit in going after the premium segment is that you can achieve the same result faster with the same effort. And also in the difference of business ethics. There is a much greater chance of finding polite and adequate customers who are ready to pay a lot for quality and will not micromanage. Compared to the low-ticket market, the premium segment of online services is like a rocket engine that takes you into the orbit at a cosmic speed, overtaking gentlemen in the balloons. It's like a world champion runner Usain Bolt outrunning a beer-bellied office worker on a treadmill. Just different categories. You choose where you want to be. Ignoring the premium market is like taking part in Formula 1 racing with a horse and wondering why everyone else is overtaking you in their sport cars. Or like going with sticks and stones against an enemy with nuclear weapons. The most interesting thing is that now a very small percentage of entrepreneurs use this opportunity, which I'm talking about, and that is why the barrier to entry is quite low. The earlier you start, the more you can benefit from such a strategy. Therefore, I do not recommend waiting a few years, but start right now. During the period when the world was seized by a pandemic and business began to switch to remote work en masse, when many industries collapsed, but many new ones appeared, the key condition to success was to adapt to the new rules. It still is. Now is a great opportunity to start a new business or new direction in your business. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Alex Bossy. I'm a digital marketing agency owner from Ukraine, and I generally blog about how to do business remotely, how to manage your team remotely, how to survive using all the opportunities in the global market. I blog about digital nomad entrepreneurial lifestyle and travels. And my mission is to help as many entrepreneurs as possible to start a profitable business without borders, not tied to any one country, to get freedom in all senses: financial freedom when you choose where to be and where to work, geographical freedom, when and how much to travel or relocate to, and freedom from government institutions when your business and your life are so distributed among different countries that no government has complete control over them. You always have a plan B when plan A fails. Back when I was a student, I started out a freelancing career, and I remember my very first client. He wanted me to launch advertising on their website, on which I was making $50 per month in profit. But with more and more experience, I learned to sell that same service for $300, $500 to each subsequent client in my country. Any further increase in prices sharply reduced the probability of closing the deal, and I had to either learn to approach big brands, which was not easy, and I was also afraid of bureaucracy involved with them, or look for other better ways to earn money for my cappuccinos and croissants. Everything changed in 2015 when I got experience working with bigger companies by getting a job at Mindvalley, a real giant of online learning. As one of the traffic managers, I helped manage an advertising budget of $100K weekly, and all that money was aimed at finding and winning the hearts of buyers from America, United Kingdom, and many other countries in the world. The main office of the company was located in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, although in terms of its spirit and geography of customers, the firm was de facto American, and it had around 200 employees at the same time from 40 different countries. Can you imagine? So all these incredibly talented specialists from all over the world worked with me at the headquarters, and I learned quite a lot from them because each of them was one of the best in the world. It was there that I realized that there is not only more money to make if you widen your market, but also the culture of business and business communication can be on a completely different level, and you can encounter less micromanagement, more courtesy, quality valued more than cheapness. That is all accessible if you go out of your comfort zone. So that's what I encourage you to do by going for the premium customers segment. After gaining enough experience at Mindvalley, I took the risk of opening my own business. So I resigned as soon as the profit from the business surpassed what used to be my company salary. This was the beginning of the advertising agency called Remote Leads. And the first clients of the agency were pretty low ticket because I did not know yet how to look for any other kind and how to position myself. But I promised to myself that as soon as I figure it out, I must bring the business completely to the luxury segment. And in order to understand how to do this, in 2016, I, for the first time in my life, went to the USA to attend a marketing conference called Traffic and Conversion Summit, which took place every year in San Diego, in sunny California. And what I learned there made me think seriously and led to drastic changes in my agency. More than 4,000 marketers and online entrepreneurs from all over the world filled the conference halls and corridors of the Manchester Grand Hyatt Hotel for 3 days, where the conference was held. In the hotel, most of the people were sitting just listening to the presentations, trainings, workshops, which were held in several conference rooms at the same time. You could basically decide which topic is more interesting to you and come to their respective room to listen. But what is more interesting, in the corridors themselves, and in those halls there were dozens of booths, advertising stands, where the partners of the conference promoted their various products and services related to online business, starting from developers of marketing automation software, ending with agencies providing turnkey digital marketing services. Interestingly, walking through these corridors, you could often meet someone whose email you were subscribed to for years before. I mean, all those email lists big gurus have. Imagine yesterday you could have received emails from Frank Karen and Ryan Dice, and today I could come and talk to them live. Those are, by the way, big gurus in online marketing space in the USA. At the same time, I'd already worked for a long time with Facebook advertising, and one interesting idea came to me to do some kind of guerrilla marketing, or should I say competitive analysis. So I pretended to be a potential client, and I went to ask my competitors, all the agencies behind the counters who also did Facebook advertising for their clients, about what exactly they offer, to whom, and for what price. I then watched how they were positioning themselves. It turned out that the smallest project that most of them would agree to take would cost at least $1,500 per month of work. The real labor costs were about 25 hours per month for that kind of service. But mostly those clients were making much larger deals with them, costing several $1,000s monthly. I realized that after such information, even psychologically, I would not be able to continue working for $300 or $500 per month, despite the fact that the amount of work is the same. Only the people you're dealing with are different. They just pay more. After that, I didn't even sit until the end of the conference that day. I had one idea, and I had this crazy charge of motivation to implement it. I ran to my hotel room, locked myself there, opened the notepad on my laptop, and began to prepare a presentation of my service, which was Facebook advertisement at the time, based on the example of how these agencies I saw presented their services to me. The following day, my plan was to meet as many entrepreneurs as possible at the conference and hone my presentation skills so that people would want to become like clients after I meet them. I thought for myself, what exactly would be my opening line, what I will pay attention to, how I will present myself as a person that can be trusted, and not just some random stranger, some foreigner who wants to make money off you. The first few times, it didn't go very well, or should I say it failed miserably, but the more and more I talked to people, I noticed that people started to listening to me not just out of politeness. My aha moment was when I realized that it's more important not what I say, but how and when I say it, and accordingly I changed the sequence in which I presented some information, changed how I presented it, and then everything changed. There at the conference I found my first premium client, who was paying me way more than anyone before him. And after that, several years had passed since the conference. It was 2019 now, and my agency no longer had a single client paying less than $1,500 per month, and they are mostly what would I call premium clients. I also had much larger projects, like $4,000 or $5,000 per month, and even one annual contract for $54K. At some point, I realized that the cost of my services had increased exactly 10 times compared to the level I reached when I was ready to work just with anyone when I started my agency. And obviously, thanks to our marketing work, clients in return, they received some six-figure revenues. It made sense for them to continue using my service. I have to reiterate that it is important that if you go after premium clients, you can only charge them that much if you deliver results for them that justify that. Would it change your life if you knew a specific algorithm, how to find such customers and how to ensure that they are satisfied with your products and services, staying with you for a year or more? Phase of transition to the more premium segment took a lot of time for me because I had to overcome my own fears of entering unknown markets to understand what works and what doesn't. My team and I, we had to make mistakes together and learn from them, learn to sell, increase prices, improve our skills, learn to sell again at a higher price. And we would often lose thousands of dollars because of mistakes and then make new mistakes again until something good started to come out of all that. It was not very easy, but it was worth it because premium clients, I would say the key that allows you not to just work, but define how you work. Allows you to travel as much as you want, work for fun without overworking, just like Tim Ferriss describes all that in his book 4 Hour Workweek, which I mentioned before. I have always been against business for business sake, money for money's sake, and status for just status. I would call myself an advocate of a lifestyle business, and business for me is just a way to live the way I want to and to travel, to see the world, to see and feel how people live in different countries. Tested on myself, I working online all of the time. I have already visited 40 countries in the world. I visited most continents and climatic zones, from hot deserts of Sahara to hot tropics of Bali, to the snowy glaciers of Iceland. This is exactly the idea I'm trying to convey. Entering the premium market is one of the fastest ways to create your dream lifestyle and spend your time the way you want. Would your life change if your income allowed you to travel and do any hobby without any worries about finances? If at the same time it was possible to work just several hours a week and choose who to work with, taking only those clients who respect you, who pay a lot, and who are sincerely grateful for your service. Those who decide to take this path often face the same roadblocks, make the same mistakes, and because of this, most do not succeed, and everything takes a long time, as it took me. But the minority who, overcoming the fear of the unknown, take risks, try again and again, and still conquer new markets, as if after trying a breath of fresh air, they will never want to return to the business swamp of low-ticket market, which is notorious for a lot of dishonest clients and dishonest service providers alike, among whom it is really difficult to distinguish yourself as a really good professional. I have to say that it works for a lot of professions and types of service. Just go to Upwork. In the section of available categories you can see most popular types of work, like development and IT, design and creative, finance and accounting, admin, customer support, engineering, architecture, legal, sales and marketing, writing and translation, and some other types of work. And these are all just categories. Under each of these categories, there are dozens or even hundreds of subcategories. Can you imagine? Just look at some examples of work categories in the field of sales and marketing, and in the creative section. And that's just freelancing. We're not limited to freelancing. You can go after premium clients in with any other business model. You can create online courses for each category. You can write books. You can make YouTube channels. You can create thematic online stores in this industry. There are millions of options, and from a programmer to a gardener, from a designer to a philosopher, everyone has opportunities. You just have to find them. Millions of people have already found them, so you can too. Just keep in mind to deliver a stellar product or service, so it is at least interesting to premium clients, and work on your portfolio and case studies for that exact type of premium client. If you want to learn more about how exactly to go after premium clients, how to switch from the low income market to the luxury market, check out my link in the description under this video and download the ebook I prepared for you.